Hey folks, the Red Scourge here, and welcome back in. I'm coming back at you with some more Flexbone content. This is probably the first time I've ever released two videos in one day, but this was too good not to. I'm pretty excited about it. So we'll be using the Playbook editor, which I'm brand new at, and I will say all of this basic information is available from Goonmaster's video. I'll put it in the description. That's kind of how I learned how to do this stuff. So if you're wondering where I got these programs or these files, that's where they are. So what we're talking about today is Flexbone Flex. Looks like this. Other people might call it other things. I became familiar with this formation from another Coach Carrick video. Shout out to the Flexbone 101 YouTube channel. Great Flexbone coaching channel if you're into that kind of thing. But I really love this. One problem I have in NCAA 14, especially with lower tier teams, I normally start with a 1-star, 2-star team and start to build it up. So it takes a while to have really top talent. And so I'm used to running the triple with, not bottom of the barrel guys, but my offense is not normally as good as the defense. So I find that I have to spread out the defense quite a bit. And you can do that with the different trips formations, the different slot formations. That's all great. But what this gives you is you have both wing backs here. And if you're really recruiting for flexbone option, your wing backs will be able to catch the ball really well, or at least that's what your hope is. So I saw this and I was like, okay, that's pretty sweet. And I've messed around with the Playbook editor tool a little bit, but not much. I don't really understand it. And I jumped in and I tried to edit one of the flexbone formations to make this, and it worked really well. And almost everything worked straight out of the box. So this video is just basically to show you how to make that formation. This works for NCAA 14. This works for college football revamped, either one. So this isn't going to be super like a well-rounded tutorial. This is just going to be how to make that formation, and then I'll run some plays in the game and show you how it works. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to want to open the AST editor, and you're going to go to your user directory folder, wherever that is, in RPC S3. You can do this on PS3. It's extra steps. I'm not going to cover that here because I honestly don't know how to do it. But if you've done some modding, it should be the same. We're going to be working out of the QKL underscore miscellaneous file. What I would actually suggest doing, you can always re-download the mod files, assuming you're using revamped. If you're using the stock game, maybe it's a little different, but I always want to make copies. So just in case I mess something up, I want to stock one. So I'll just leave that there. That's fine. But we are in the AST editor. We're going to load up the one we're working with and find file number 7. This is it. You extract that to wherever you want. I made a separate folder for Playbook modding. Dump it in there. You can close the editor. Then we'll go into the Playbook editor. Open your NCAA Playbook. And so this is where my file is. That's where I put it. Open it up, and then you have all of the different formations in the game: offense, defense, special teams. So Flexbone, I don't use close very much. Like I said before, I tend to, at least in NCAA 14, college football revamped, I tend to need to spread out the defense more than get them into sort of a compression scenario like this, because I find that the defense, like I said, if I'm using kind of subpar offense, especially offensive linemen, against a better defense, the defense is going to win more often than not, and I'm just going to get bottled up. So I don't use this formation much. I believe there's a way you can actually add in formations. I don't know how that works. I haven't gotten that far yet. So for now, I'm just going to mod this because I don't use it too much. And actually, straight off the bat, what we're going to do is go into options, play art, and PSAL, because you're going to make changes to this and it'll still look the same. There's a way you can change what the play art looks like also. Haven't gotten there yet, but it's not as important to me. So this is, as we make changes, this will change. You go into edit formation and name here. I'm just calling it flex. I mean, you could call it spread. I mean, you could call it whatever you want, but it's funny seeing Flexbone dash flex, but that's what coaches call it. So I'll go with that. And now in this grid, you have the different positions. So down here, you'll see the blue highlight is changing as we go through. And these all control different things. I don't know all of the details of that. I know that DPOS is like depth chart position. So if we go to quarterback and you want to edit that, you put 3, hit enter. Okay, well that didn't update. I'm not sure. Oh, because it didn't update. Let's try 2. Is it not letting me do that? Okay. They might be finicky. We'll try the B back. Oh, whoops. That's something different. Yeah, so fullback 2. B back. I wish I could change that terminology. I'm not sure how I can. I'll change that back though. And then EPOS is what player goes in each position. I'm not going to mess with this for the sake of this, but 0 is quarterback, 2 is fullback, 1 refers to running backs or halfbacks, tailbacks, 3 refers to wide receivers. I believe 4 is tight ends, and then you have these different numbers for different offensive linemen. If you want to change the base version of how who's on the field for personnel, you can do that there. We're going to work on formation alignment because that's really what we're dealing with. So same thing up here applies to down here. You know, you're seeing different positions get highlighted. Quarterback, fullback, B-back are going to stay. I'm going to move the wideouts though. And so here's where the X and Y values come into play. So the X value is sort of the left, right on the field, and the Y value is going to be further towards or away the line of scrimmage. There's kind of an imaginary center line. So the quarterback and B-back are at 0. So the base version of Flexbone has the wideouts at 18 and -18. Okay, why did that not go? Sometimes it's a little finicky. You want to make sure your values actually update. So, yeah, there we go. So you put him out there, and then that's -18. This one's just going to be 18. You could put them wherever you want, frankly, but this is how you do it. And then so FX and FY applies to when you flip the play to the other side. And I tested this messing around with formations the other day, and I didn't do that correctly, and I ran into a weird glitch where you call the play and come out of the huddle, and one player would just run for 5 yards into the defense. And if he touched a defender, you would get like a neutral zone infraction or something. It was really weird. So if you want it to work properly flipped, you want to put these same values in those spots, if that makes sense. The Y value is not changing for those. Okay. So that's that, pretty simple. And then we are going to spread out our wing backs. In testing, I think I had them out at about 10. Yeah, I mean, that looks good to me. You can obviously do what you want. And then I want to have it equal, so I'm going to put, whoa, that's not what I wanted. I think it was this value. That's an interesting one. I haven't done that before. Nope. I'm just spreading the line out. All right, this is not a bad teachable moment. So if you screw up, say, a lineman, I accidentally moved the guard and the tackle. I can find the other guard and other tackle. Yeah, so he is at... Oh, I put that value to the wrong player. So I'm going to move my left tackle back in. And he's sitting on top of the guard, so where's my right guard? My right guard's there. All right, we got our O-line back. So mistakes can be fixed. Where's my other? There we go. Okay. It's a little funny. Just pay attention to who is selected. I'm going to put him at -10. And there you go. I mean, that's basically the formation. Make sure everything's accurate. You know, there's nothing wonky here. You can close that out. And what I meant by the play art is if you go back and look, it's still the same. You make sure hit save playbook. I made that mistake once. And now it's time to open your AST editor. And you want to open that miscellaneous file. Go to file 7, replace selected, find your modified playbook file, open that, save your miscellaneous file, close your editor, and we can make a, we can make a second copy here. And this is our newly edited one. Okay. And so we should be good to go. All right, so we're going to go into practice mode, and I'll show you why I felt some urgency to put this out, because I was really excited. Gotta use old Army, and then we can make this random. Who do we want to play against? Sure. And then those are pretty even teams anyways. That's fine. So when we get in here, we're going to go down, and there we got flex. So play art didn't update outside of the scope of this. So the toughest thing in editing the option was getting the mesh point right with the B-back and the quarterback. I was trying to make kind of like a sort of a shotgun flexbone thing, a little bit reinventing the wheel with the pistol flexbone, and I couldn't get the mesh point to work right. None of that worked. So this is exactly how I did it. I just came out and oh, well, we don't have, this is, I didn't pick 4-2-5 or 3-5. It doesn't really matter. Against this, you figure maybe they're running a nickel. But there you go, you have it. And the most exciting thing, just triple option here, it just works. You moved 4 your skill positions around and, whoops, I hit the wrong button there, but still got about 5 yards. We'll run this one more time, and I'll show you the other ones. And what's cool is, obviously, it's a little bit easier in practice, but this formation really works well. So we go in. All right, midline. Midline's a great sort of, for me, foundational play of the offense. Safety's walking up. Normally, I'd audible out. We're going to run it. No, well, that's not going to do, but you see the play actually works. It's a tough way to lose a yard. Quite a long ways. All right, let's look at another one, because most of these just work straight up. And that's the craziest thing. Normally modding things, it doesn't get this easy. Straight drop back pass play, this is going to be fairly standard. Obviously the routes are different, but this one works pretty well. Inaccuracy notwithstanding. I'm using J-Kit sliders, so, he's not warmed up in practice here. Let's take a look at a couple others, because I don't even know what I'm doing here. The option plays are going to be the ones that are the highest chance to getting screwed up. Fullback load option. Cool. And it's just nice. The game just adjusts for these motions. And this is a play I don't really love anyways, but working pretty well. But yeah, so regardless of like my ability to run some of these plays, it's actually, works well as I get a touchdown. Okay. We are going to look at a couple more. So Triple option the other way works just as well. Fullback load option, the one run to the left works. There are a couple of these I didn't try in testing. Let's look at speed sweep, because this is a play I never run unless I need to get 1 yard, because it just doesn't work that well. And at least in practice before, this was working really well. That play is not designed to go in the B gap, but for whatever reason, this game likes to block it that way. I mean, that's definitely a usable play. Whereas before, to me, speed sweep's not very usable. Let's look at trap option. This is one I have not tested. And I was saying it mostly works out of the box. I think this is one that isn't going to work because you obviously can only have one person in motion, and that's Marshall, the wing back here. And so Robinson is going to be way out of position when this play starts. Yeah, so, I mean, it works technically, but yeah, you're going to need the world's best blocking to make that happen. But you can, the play art doesn't show it. You can actually hand it to the B-back here if you wanted to. So maybe it's good for that if you want to run like a B-back dive with some window dressing. That's a potential use for that. This action play works. Now the routes are a little funky, but I don't know, it's usable. That's not a great read. You can modify the routes in the play editor. I haven't even done that yet. I will change some of these pass plays. That's not a great choice either. All right. So going back here, and this is without even editing any of these plays. Corners works. This fullback option pass works, but it works just about as well as it does out of the normal Flexbone formation. I don't know. It's like a low chance to work, and it gives me anxiety every time I run those plays, so I just tend to not run them. We've got, I haven't run rocket toss. And it really kills me that this play just doesn't work in this game. You can get a yard. If you're at the goal line, this play will work. But, like, they can never block this play. And it's awful because if you hear coaches talk about running this offense, rocket toss is super, super effective. Yeah, that one's not great. That's maybe a play you could edit and make your own play or something. I almost never run toss in my Flexbone offense. Fullback dive works really well. These other two pass plays work. Whoops. Didn't mean to do that. So wingback misdirection does not, and I'll show you why. It's actually much the same with that trap option. He takes too long to get over there. Because you can't have two dudes in motion. So that's another one. You can probably use that spot and make a new play if you wanted, or just take it out of your playbook. So I think there's one more I wanted to look at. Wingback dive is one I have not actually tested. I don't see why this wouldn't work. Yeah, that works just fine. Blocking notwithstanding. Nice. So that's it, y'all. That's what I was really excited about. It's another formation that I can use for my offense, and that's super exciting to me. Like I said, I found the need to spread out defenses in this game more than pack them in. The sort of heavier formations I sometimes use, but I don't have as much success. And something like this could be cool, especially if I modify some of these pass plays, put in some of the run and shoot pass concepts in here. I think there's a way you can basically copy a play and put it onto a new formation. Like I could take one of those run and shoot play pass plays from Flexbone normal and put it on here. I haven't gotten that far, but so I think it's pretty exciting. Thanks as always for watching the video and for checking out the content I make, and I will see you all next time.